Well, here we are with part B of the lens controller, and this time I've actually got a Canon lens, and it's a 15:1. You can probably see down there, it says 15:1. And again, we have our specialised focus controller here to be able to give us full remote control using either the local focus control or the focus control we have here on the ATEM control panel. We also have zoom control here, which will give us our zoom control up here, and of course iris, which is the most important thing for most of this stuff, because your cameraman can sort out their focus and zoom. Again, we just got a micro studio camera here, and we touch the screen, we get exposure, and we have again the photo dioptics. Now this particular Canon lens has a ×2 on it as well, but you don't need it because the photo diopter does all that business. Now the main reason I wanted to show you this addendum to the last video is because I forgot how to set the focus control for the control of the focus, the lens focus. What I mentioned before is you have the ability to be able to push focus or pull focus, which is what cameramen tend to call it, and you can actually change which direction the focus ring will move on the camera using this knob. Some people like to be able to push focus forward, others like to push focus backwards. So if you have a look at the this particular knob now, as I'm turning it let's say clockwise, looking from this side, as I'm turning it clockwise from this side, you'll see the lens is actually going anti-clockwise. Now what I can do by a couple of little keystrokes here, this again is all field operation, I can just turn on the, if you remember that pushing the button here will put us into iris control. Just turn that on and then push this button in once, and you'll see the little light will flash 5 times, and now, and it comes out of that mode, and now as I turn clockwise here, we go up to the lens, you see the lens is turning clockwise now, whereas before it was turning anti-clockwise. So depending on how you like to operate your focus demand, you can toggle that just by hitting those 2 button combinations. I'll just very quickly just show you the Canon operation. This particular lens doesn't seem to have the lens drift as bad, if not any, than the last Fujinon. So maybe I had a faulty lens, but regardless of all that, I'm going to go into more detail on some of the diagnostics and setup later on. This particular display here is for my internal use for diagnostics of the electronics. It doesn't actually come with the final product, and not unless you want a particular, if you want the diagnostics module you can, but it's got an internal connector you have to plug it into, blah 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 blah. Nobody tends to want to get involved in the technical side. That's my job. Anyhow, so again, here we are with the focus, and I'm just going to say turn the focus, and just as I'm turning the focus, let's come up to the picture here, and you'll see that's a cable very close to the lens, or it's just 1.5 meters away from the lens, and you can see up here on the lens, as I turn the focus control, it'll go all the way from the widest, which the lens says that's less than 0.95 of a meter, as you can read it there, and then I can then keep turning it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8.5 rotations of the control knob here, and it gives us the full range of the focus, which takes us to infinity. There we are there. Now as I turn this focus, and as I said in the last video, this is designed to be give you very fine control, and here I am focusing back from infinity. You can see that's focused on this blue portion, which is a something way over there, and as I continue to focus, bring it back, you can see I now can focus on something closer to the lens, which is this part here. And then, am I doing that right? Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to focus a bit closer, which is now focused on this part here. And then I've got a cable that's hanging out the side of a rack here. And you can see it's a long way, much closer to the lens. And there it is there. And if I just pan this camera across, you can see this stuff is even closer, which is all this stuff here. That's even closer. So I can then keep focusing on that, and you can see there that's come into focus. This word up here has come into focus, and now I'm right at the end of the focus range now, which is the focal length of the camera. If I put my finger up here, I might be able to focus in on it. Trying to do two things at once here. Yeah, it's way back here somewhere. And I can then of course focus it back up again. So if you're in low light and you're really pushing to get your focus right, this knob gives you the real fine accuracy of it all. If I just zoom out, you see how zoomed up I am. So I just zoom out. Now, this is a 15:1 lens, as I mentioned before. This camera also gives me the ability to do back focus, and for some of you people that have actually asked me, when you do back focus, they call it something different. But when you do back focus, just make sure your camera's wide open. This camera's sitting on f4, and I can actually control the iris again. I can do it from here. Let's just turn that on, and you can see as I crank it up, you can go wide open. I can bring it back down, and then I can even close it down a bit here. And as you can see, we've got the full control of the exposure there. But with the photodioptics, they recommend 5.6 maximum, but this Canon lens performs better with this photodioptic than that Fujinon that I was showing you, which I think is a 14:1. In fact, I've got it here. Maybe I'll read it. That's the Fujinon that I was using, and again you can see it's got the servo system on it. Fujinon, you can do the math, but it's a Pegasus something. Yeah, anyhow, so as I said, the Canon lens seems to perform better with this photodioptic than the Fujinon, but I've got a whole bunch of other Fujinons there. I'm going to try a little later on just to make sure. This Canon lens has different cog sizes on both the focus and the zoom than what the Fujinon does, so the actual cog here is a different size cog. Again, all designed on the 3D printer. I've got a bit of a clutch mechanism happening in there now. Still needs improvement, but it'll be fine. I showed you the zoom, I've showed you the iris, showed you the focus. With the zoom, it is here. You can see it goes from the full range, so you're not missing out any range. These, incidentally, I've had a request from a few people who actually have Fujinon and Canon lenses with a blown up servo system, which is this block here. That's the actual standard Fujinon. Now that can actually come off, so you can either get it repaired, or I'm currently working on similar servo systems to the focus to attach to the lens. It's got all the attached mounts are still there, and I'll be able to sell focus and iris servo systems for dodgy lenses. In fact, I've got a Fujinon lens here where it doesn't work at all. The servos don't work, so that'll be my first build with my own servo systems. And the only difference is that with this system, this servo system here is what they call the 270-degree servo system to get the full range of the focus. where these two here will only be 180, which is all it needs. These only need 180, but this needs 270, and exactly the same as the Fujinon. It must be the barrel size or something. Anyhow, just finishing off, I just wanted to show you, in case there are doubters out there, here we are on the control panel for the ATEM for the CCU, and just as a matter of interest, this this interface that I will be selling will have a built-in tally, green and red tally, as probably mentioned before. So you can also use it as a tally system. I did have one here sitting here. It is here. Mentioned it before. Hang on, just reaching out. Bear with me. And the tally system, it actually will have two tally lights. It'll have a tally light on the box, not much unlike this one here, but it also will have a connector here where you can actually plug a RGB LED, a tricolour LED, into here and extend it up and put it onto your viewfinder if your viewfinder doesn't have a tally, capable of putting a tally on. Anyhow, I'm rushing, and now here we are. I'm going to start doing the iris, which is this one here, and as I do the iris, I'll just pan around here. You can see there's the iris being changed here. And go all the way up and all the way back. You can see it moving over there, and then I can then do the zoom, so I can zoom all the way out. Again, this is all working on the ATEM control panel, and then I can zoom all the way in as well. So you've got all those controls, and I'll just zoom in so I can show you. And then of course the last thing is the focus here. There's on the focus. You see it all moving over there. Oh, cursor went off the... So that's controlling the focus. So there's all three servos all being controlled through the ATEM control panel. And I think I'm done. Am I done? Alright, send me emails if you ask questions, and I hope soon to have this circuit board finished. And I'm just looking for something here while I'm talking. If you're on my Facebook, the Facebook page dedicated to my stuff, you'll see it here. You know, I actually posted this the other day for people to look at. There's a circuit board. This is the circuit board for the focus servo system, focus iris and zoom servo system. So I'm just waiting to add a couple of little extra components on here. There will be a little jumper up here to switch between a Canon and a Fuji lens, and I think there's another jumper up here somewhere which controls the sensitivity of the focus, but that's all technical stuff, and as I said, you people don't know about that. Happy water drawing.